Hi, welcome to another episode of the BLS Podcast Club. I'm David.
I'm Mark.
I'm Joe.
And today we have a more of open podcast. We can just talk about anything. We haven't had a podcast in about 2 or 3 months, so this will be a fresh new start. So I guess I'll go first. So over the weekend, a bunch of varsity members of the crew team, both the boys and girls team, we went to Saratoga, New York for a crew race or regatta. And we were there for the whole weekend, and it was really fun. I think everyone on the girls' team got a medal. For the boys' team, we got second place for our 1v4 and a bronze medal for our lightweight 4. So, but other than that, it was really fun. We got to go to a hotel room, and it was cool.
What did we eat?
We had a spaghetti dinner.
Oh.
It was pretty
Ravioli.
good.
Nice.
Dude, ravioli? Okay, we went to a huge Walmart that was right next to our hotel, and everything was just extremely cheap. We got beef ravioli, Chef Boyardee, you already know. I think that won us the race. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anyone else...
It really just fueled your victory.
Yeah. I think that really was a thing that gave us motivation to win. Not even gonna lie, it was overstuffed beef ravioli, not just the regular kind.
Overstuffed.
It was overstuffed. Yeah.
Is it do you think the same thing would apply to double stuffed Oreos?
I mean, yeah, for the most part, it's double the stuff. So yeah, that was my weekend.
Oh, well, this past month, my brother got the Hulu trial for 1 month. I've been trying to binge shows nonstop because I only have 1 month, and out of all the months, I wish he chose a summer one, but because he was watching a show on Netflix, they took it away. But it was on Hulu, so he just got that, and I've been binging 5 shows.
What shows?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
My parents hate Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I can't explain it.
I don't know. I don't think it's that great, but it passes the time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I love that show.
Oh man.
Okay,
So
I've never
good.
watched about it, but I've never watched it. Can you explain what it is?
It's a bunch of people who own a bar, and it's just they just do funny stuff.
Yeah.
And Danny DeVito is a
Danny
god.
DeVito really is.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen a full episode, but I have seen a lot of clips.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I feel like Danny DeVito could play all of the parts in that show, just from the stuff that I've the little clips that I've watched, because I watched the little clips too, and I feel like he could play all of the parts and still do so well.
So this weekend I went to Nationals for History B and Bowl, and let me say there were some interesting people there. So there was this one little larger kid who was we were sitting, we were practicing, and before a match, and all of a sudden we just hear this kid in a super high pitched voice singing in this language that sounds like German, and the room is just empty, and he's just saying to himself, what the hell, what is going on here? And he just doesn't stop, and it just gets louder and louder and louder, and we're trying to read and practice, and he's just singing his heart out, and I don't know, I kind of respect that. Yeah, and then there was a lot of people like that.
Oh, really?
Not specifically like that, but of that ilk. And then, yeah, it was a good time though. Yeah, it was pretty fun. We came in 25th place, which is actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
Out of
Out of how many?
that's
Yeah.
300.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
great.
That's really good.
That's good.
Christy came in clutch.
Christy.
What about you? Did you come in clutch?
Yeah, I got a tiebreaker, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's
yeah, it was a good weekend. Despite kind of making me realize I should really keep 1 foot out of History Bowl because you don't want to be dragged into that.
Why not?
The culture, is it
The
kind of weird?
culture, exactly, exactly. It's when you see somebody being converted to a religion, and they're they become like dragged into it, and like everyone in the religion is like super weird.
Yeah.
And they don't recognize that like it's like bad for them. That's history bowl.
Oh.
Okay.
And like
Zoroastrianism.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't join history bowl. Like it's okay. It's okay.
But you just
Just
gotta
don't get sucked in.
you gotta maintain a life outside of that. Like, don't make it
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly.
What did I do over the weekend? I really didn't do anything over the weekend. I vaguely recall eating a lot of ice cream.
What kind of ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That is
Yeah.
superior
Yeah,
ice cream.
That is the superior dairy product. I'll like mention anything else if I remember.
All right. Well, has anyone seen Avengers Endgame?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No, just wondering. You know,
I'm
like.
trying to watch it this Friday with my friend and maybe a few other people in Fenway. But other than that, like no spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking to someone at my lunch table. I think it was yesterday, and they were saying how to always keep your ad block on because they had taken their ad block off for 1 second, and then they got an ad saying like something about a character who died. And I'm just like, people go to that length to spoil things, and I'm just,
That's crazy.
it made me so upset too. And now I'm worried that something will pop up and it will be like, oh well, blah 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 person died, or blah 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 like did something, and it's like, please no. This is the conclusion of Marvel's Avengers, and it's like something so important. It's like, please no.
I tried to watch it in DC, but like literally every single movie theater in the city
Oh
was
my God.
sold out.
In
Wow.
the country, let's be real.
That
Honestly-
movie made like a lot of money.
I feel like
Oh my
this
God,
is gonna be
yeah.
like a huge movie.
It currently has like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like good because after I saw Infinity War, I'm like, okay, well, you know, that was a great movie and all, but like, how are they gonna top that? I think they really like went ahead on like this movie. Like it like my expectations of it weren't really high at first, but like now that I'm seeing like the like public reaction, I'm like, holy crap, I gotta watch this. Like
It's like when you see that other people are enjoying something and you never really thought about it that much as being that enjoyable, and you're like, wait, I have to do this.
yeah.
This might be kind of like an overstatement, but I feel like Avengers is kind of like the Star Wars of like our generation.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
someone was making that
yes.
comparison on Reddit. Like, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Like everyone watches it.
Yeah, and everybody knows about it, and we can recognize these actors, and we may not know their names, but we know who they are, and we know where we've seen them. And it's kind of amazing, that kind of star power that these actors now have, because they just became part of this franchise at some point. Oh, wait, no, there you go.
Oh, I was gonna say like in like 40, 50 years, like the newer generation.
They're gonna be like, what's Marvel?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to show them all 23 movies.
Yeah, there's 23 of them.
Really?
I think so, right? Like
So-
around 23.
No, like some of them aren't even like, they don't even matter. Like Captain Marvel, like
Captain Marvel's gonna be
according, apparently she like doesn't really do much in the movie. I don't know. And like,
Funny.
I mean, from what I heard, it's like focused on the original 6.
yeah.
like
Anyways, yeah. So they're able to milk so much money out of people because Captain Marvel. I don't know. When I first heard it, I thought like, oh, they need this movie because I guess it's important to the one after Infinity, like this new one, of course.
They really just needed to bring a whole other person in.
Yeah. And I kind of think that was for diversity
Yeah.
purposes.
No, I do feel like they do sometimes like milk the series. I mean, which is I just like, you know, most of the movies are still like pretty entertaining, but you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I did not like that at all. I thought it was the
Same.
most boring. Like I think especially after like we literally saw like Thanos like kill half the universe. Like
It
just
was
like
just if they had released it like before, but they had like excluded the part where they all turned like
Yeah.
girls. Or maybe they made it so that's like, oh my god, what happened? And you don't like know, and then you watch the show and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Then that would have made a lot more sense if they had released it prior to Infinity War, but
Yeah.
they didn't.
I
So
mean,
it's
like-
just a letdown.
Other movies, they also have like their really bad sequels, like Toy Story 4 is coming out. I don't know if it's gonna be good.
yeah.
It better be good.
Transformers has been bought by the Chinese. Actually, though, like the whole bunch of movies, like failing movie series, have been bought by Chinese companies, and now they're all made with like set in China.
Huh.
and like they're made for Chinese audiences.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
actually really interesting.
Good for them.
See,
Yeah.
I feel like companies like Disney are actually starting to evolve the way they do sequels, and that's actually making me really happy. Because I mean, look at Mulan 2, look at Pocahontas 2. Those are maybe some of the most trash movies I have ever seen. And then you look at Finding Dory, the sequel to Finding Nemo, and it's a lot better. And I'm going off on a tangent about Disney movies, but I feel like they're showing the good way to do these things. And yeah.
Well, speaking about tangent on Disney movies, okay, can we just talk about the live actions that they're making?
Oh, I
like
hate those.
Aladdin
Really?
and like Aladdin.
I'm not excited for Aladdin. I saw PewDiePie like edit the picture of
Will Smith.
into Shrek. that my heart. But you were saying though.
No, like that's just another example of just like milking a series just for like just for like money, like, and they're good stories, right? Like Aladdin and Dumbo, right? But like when you look at the live action, it's just like because when you see the animation, you're like, okay, well, this is kind of a classic. You're gonna see this like, if you see this again in like 50 years, it's still gonna have like some emotional impact. When you look at the live action, you're like, I'm gonna forget about this movie like 2 days after I watch it.
Honestly though, why did they pick Dumbo out of all of their classics? Why did they pick Dumbo? Plus I saw like some trailers for it and it looks so creepy. How is that going to be appealing to a young audience? Because that's what Disney's trying to do. They're trying to get it to a young audience, but live action, I think. And maybe a few people who, love the classics and want to see it again.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just like recycling ideas and they're just like, oh, we don't know what else to do, so we're just going to make these things live action.
I mean, it's a smart business decision because like people will still buy tickets to see these movies anyways, and they'll still make a lot of money from it.
Well, yeah, because like first off, it's Disney and people want to watch Disney stuff, but then also people know what these things are about. But at the same time, like, it's a really good business decision, but it makes it seem like they've lost like any more ideas, like they don't have any more ideas, and it's just kind of disappointing.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of Sherlock Gnomes stuff.
Oh my god,
Oh.
that was so awful.
That's a sequel.
That is a sequel.
That is a
Yeah.
To
Dude.
Romeo and Juliet,
I-
the
Yeah.
saddest movie of all time.
Yeah.
I cried for that movie because it's so sad, so sad. Like the flamingo,
Oh my god.
the two flamingos, they're like in love, and then they move, like the family moves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the family, like the husband and wife like divorce, and the woman takes
Yeah.
her flamingo.
Exactly right. Like,
What happened to the guy? Did he die?
and I saw that when I was like 5, and I was like, this is like the saddest thing I had ever seen when I was that age.
Romeo and Juliet was just so bad. It was so predictable.
Yeah.
But then, like,
it was just such a it's the movie version of It's just like so meh. It's like nothing.
Yeah, like nowadays, generally, like the good movies, they're like superhero movies, like SpiderMan Into the Spider-Verse. That was like really good.
That was
That
Yeah,
was good.
yeah.
I actually really like that. The music in it was also so good.
Yeah, they went all out with the soundtrack.
They really
Like, yeah.
I like that they didn't make it like it wasn't just kind of one genre of music. Like we've always seen in past movies. It's like it's different, and I think it's a lot more appealing to the audience.
Like it was definitely like took a very like creative aspect because like we've seen 3 versions of Spider-Man already, and I feel like most people are kind of just tired of like the whole Spider-Man story, but like this definitely like took a different like path, I'd say, and made it like
My mom
really-
thought it was live action. She's like, this is animation. What is this?
My parents were like, "We don't want to watch this. We don't want to watch this," and I was like, "It was so sad."
I think we're in like a golden age of movies right now.
We really are. Speaking of golden age, wait, no, I'm joking. Never mind.
Yeah, but like generally, I don't like the way entertainment is heading because I mean, like specifically for like TV, like The Office is gonna get pulled off of Netflix in 2021, and NBC's coming out with their own like streaming thing, and so is Disney. So all like the Disney
It's
movies,
like Disney X or something
on-
like that.
yeah, like on
Yes.
Netflix, they're gonna be pulled out. So Netflix
Yeah.
is basically gonna be screwed. That's why they're trying to make like their own content, and it's pretty good. The Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, Beat Blinders,
Yeah.
Narcos. Is Narcos Netflix?
I think
Yeah,
so,
but like eventually, if you want like a good like library of like TV shows and movies, you're gonna have to pay like a bunch of different streaming sites, and that's gonna add up. It's gonna be like
And people are just gonna be cheated by it. Well, obviously, because it's just outrageous to pay for like 5 different companies to get something that you could have originally gotten on Netflix all by itself.
or you just turn on the ad blocker, go to 123
Yeah.
movies.
Nice,
Dude.
because like cable TV is like people only use that for like sports now.
Yeah.
I feel like
Sports and news. That's about
sports
it.
and news. Yeah.
Yeah, we're stealing cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, Tim, you
Oh my
watch this?
God.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I've never watched it.
I watched that
We
most
don't want to
recent.
spoil it for anyone, though.
Listen, I'm not 18. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
See, the only reason why I was able to watch the most recent episode was because there was no nudity, and my parents were like, "Oh, that's fine then. You can watch it with us." And I was like, "Cool. I have no context of the show whatsoever.
Oh, I
I'll
see.
just jump right in."
I just watched it on the computer on like the train ride back from DC. It was so like great.
Oh my god, it was wow. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. If anyone who hasn't seen it yet,
Yes.
I would highly recommend it.
It's really sad that it's ending this season.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's only a certain like amount of time that you can drag out a show. Like if you look at Family Guy, stuff like that.
Oh, all right. So that's been it for the podcast. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely start doing a lot more of these more open open podcasts. Like just talk about anything. I feel like it's a lot more fun than like structured ones. I mean, we'll definitely probably have more structured ones, but we can have a mix of them. But yeah, so that's been it for the podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, yeah.